Hello and welcome to Bomb Squad, episode 23, an In Dreams PlayStation podcast. My name is Andrew Muggleton and I'm, as always, joined by my wonderful co-host, Christopher Sloan. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Going a little bit.
How's quarantine
Yeah, just going a little bit, maybe a little bit crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, a little stir crazy.
A little bit. Things are ramping up in terms of the stress on my sanity.
Okay. So I don't know how well you remember, but in Don't Starve, you have a hunger, a health, and a little sanity thing, and that is reaching low for you.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I guess you could say it's going low, or it's going the other way. I don't know. Maybe it's too much sanity.
Ah, maybe. Well, in Don't Starve, it really helps to pick flowers. So next time you're out for a walk, just start ravaging a load of gardens.
That sounds like some allotment shit.
And
I'm not.
We know what happens there.
I'm not having that.
No,
having it.
Not at all. Right, another new week finds us with more dire news to talk about. So let's get that out the way first, okay?
Is this coronavirus related, or is this?
Somewhat.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
Yeah, it's The Last of Us 2 and Iron Man VR both being indefinitely delayed due to the ongoing COVID-19 issue.
No.
So that they have both been pushed back to. They haven't given a date yet. But I saw a couple of kind of reports also saying that Last of Us 2 was like pretty much done. Like it was just bug fixing and play testing and stuff to finish it off. But I think the big issue is with the manufacturing of the discs and stuff like that. So they have been indefinitely delayed, which obviously is sad news, as both very excited for it. And I was intrigued by Iron Man, but it was mostly Last of Us we're talking about here.
I could have sworn that I keep thinking that the Iron Man game had like already come out. I don't know why I keep thinking this, but like I'm sure that it was already been out.
Yeah, I think it's a game that suffers a bit from that. I think. I'm sad that it's not coming out. I'm also don't mind too much because again, it's just more time to play other games in the back catalogue and things like that. But obviously was very looking forward to it. So
it's kind of weird how they've said it's just sort of like indefinitely.
Yeah,
not a case of like, oh, you know, we're gonna get it out as soon as possible. Or well, I mean, obviously they are saying that, but like, it's weird as well because obviously Sony still haven't said they're going to delay the actual next gen console coming out.
No, and we're actually going to come on to that a bit later on regarding they actually doubled down on saying definitely holiday 2020 with the announcement.
So it's going to be kind of weird, like because if you know Last of Us was due to come out in April, was that? Or was this August? Or and like if it's delayed too much, it is just going to cross over, isn't it?
Yeah. That was the original date was April, then it went back to May, and now, I mean, who knows?
I mean,
that's what it's going to be now.
That's going to be quite a good launch title.
Yeah.
For the PlayStation,
sure.
As long as it kind of like works day one with the PS5 and everything.
Yeah, which I'm sure it will do. So that's the negative news. Out the way. We thought we should just mention that. There are two other kind of release date things as well, which was Ghost of Tsushima. They haven't mentioned anything about that changing. So I think that's is that June or August? No, now I'm getting confused myself as to because I remember thinking I thought it was going to be August, but I think it's actually June.
Yeah, 26th of June.
Yeah, so I think they haven't mentioned anything with that, but that's only a month later than what Last of Us was meant to be. So I could imagine that will get delayed.
It's surely got to be delayed. Surely.
Yeah. If there's manufacturing issues, a month. I don't know how these things work with the back end of it, but we'll see. They need to make sure they give each other those two games their own time. They can't put them on top of each other. And then with CD Projekt Red saying that Cyberpunk is still 100% on track for September in terms of development. I think it's been like rated by all the boards and stuff like that. So everything's on track with that. And I think they're probably just hoping the manufacturing issues will be sorted by the end,
Also,
by September.
Poland's like super locked down, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think in their statement because they did like a financials or something, and they said they were quite well prepared to start working from home. So the last like month or two hasn't impacted them too much because they were already quite prepared for doing that.
Right.
So that's why I think they're feeling in a confident position regarding still hitting September. So yeah, so that's news on dates of games. I think a couple of big ones still for the rest of the year. But moving on to more positive things. What have you been playing? Or hopefully positive things.
Yeah, definitely. So what have I done? So I jumped into a little bit of Doom. So I played the first mission.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call it.
Level.
Level.
Let's call it mission. Level.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I played the first one. And yeah, it's really hard. It's super hard. It was fun and everything, and I like how you kind of like forced to constantly use different weapons, all that stuff. But I don't know. I just wasn't. It kind of like bugged me quite a lot because I wasn't like super drawn in to go and carry on, which is kind of annoying. So I've kind of put that on the back burner. But obviously, part of that is because the other game that I've been playing has finally come out, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I've played, I think, almost like 12 hours of it.
Cool. Nice. In Shinra we trust.
Yeah. So really, really getting along well into that. And I don't know. I mean, I'm on chapter 9 and there's 18, but I definitely don't feel like I'm halfway. I don't know, because it's one of the things that we'll probably talk about a bit more in a future episode when we talk about the remake a bit more, is that it's weird for someone who's played the original now playing this, because obviously the pacing of what's actually happening in the story is so different, and I know where it's going to end, but like there's not really that much else left to do
in terms of what's left to do.
So it's interesting to see what they're actually going to add in extra in the next 9 chapters.
The next 25 hours worth of gameplay.
So I've been getting on well with that. I've been really enjoying it.
Excellent. I too have been playing. I think I've got about kind of 9 or 10 hours under my belt, and I think I'm on like chapter 7-ish. I think 6 or 7. I think, and also very enjoying it, having not played the original at all, and only knowing a few things about it. So I think what we'll do is we'll leave more in-depth conversation regarding that game once we're either closer to the end or both finished it, to discuss. Because I think there's a lot of, at least what we've been speaking a little bit before about, is I think there's quite a lot of interesting discussion points about that game that can be applied to the series in the series for the last couple of years, and kind of the different design changes that have been made with how you view what a Final Fantasy game is. So we'll get back more into that kind of once we finish the game, I'm sure. And again, also I've been playing Doom Eternal. That was kind of my big game for the last couple of weeks. Finished it off. Totally agree. Really, really hard. Stays really hard the whole way through. I think there's one chapter where like it eases off kind of, and it's a bit different. But I had some notes on here because I did finish it, and obviously I won't do too many kind of spoilery type things. But generally speaking, was really enamored by it for the vast majority of the playing time. Really fun, and I actively did notice myself getting better at the game as I went along, and that was compounded with there's a guy who I think I may have messaged you about. There's an enemy type called the Marauder. Okay,
Oh, yeah,
and he's kind of like, he's basically like a Doomslayer himself, but one that's kind of turned, and he's a dick. He's such a dick. He's one of the most aggravated I've been at like an enemy in a game for a long time, since probably Shadow of the Colossus, that bloody flying Colossus. But he's really tricky, and just so relentless as well. And the first time you fight him, it's basically a boss, and then he begins to show up just as kind of a normal enemy type at random points. And it was by like the kind of fourth or fifth time that I begun to see him and just focus on him and be able to sort it out, kill him and move on. But up until there, every time I would see him, it was like, right, I better just restart. Now I know it's that kind of battle. I need to save everything for this one enemy type and kind of just die a million times. And so there was a lot of learning, but I did find by the end, he would pop up and it would suddenly be okay to deal with him. But because I'd got so much more used to fighting against him and with loads of things around you. So I did notice myself getting better, I think, as you learn a lot. Performance of the game is just unreal. I can't believe how little kind of frame rate drops at any point, or it continues to look really, really lovely, and there's stuff happening all over the place, and I never ever felt hampered by any sort of performance issues, which was great, especially nowadays. The story was like interesting.
I was just going to ask if like at any point did the story actually take your attention at all, or like?
Yeah, it actually did. Definitely not in like in some sort of like Uncharted or Last of Us kind of way of like, oh, I'm invested with these characters. But it was, I did find myself quite drawn into. It's kind of hard to say without being spoilery, but like the context of the Doom world, and what I mean by the Doom world is in the universe that it's set. So kind of Earth, Mars, Hell, and another place, and the context of how they all work with each other, and what they're all doing in that universe is I thought it was quite interesting.
Cool.
It's not blow your mind kind of stuff, but it kept me going along going, I hadn't realized that there was actually this much kind of depth to this. So that was a nice surprise, and I quite enjoyed it. And every now and then I would actually read some of the little codex entries about characters or locations and stuff. So that was quite nice. Some of the additions to the game, so not these things might sound like negatives, but like the platform in the game is massively ramped up in this, with a lot of jumping about, grabbing onto. I don't know if you remember in Uncharted 4, you would have like a wall where you could pickaxe onto, and it looked different.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done that.
Have you seen those things? Okay, fine. Yeah. So that
you jump and press like R3 to.
Yeah, pressing R3, I hate doing.
Yeah, that's so weird that it's
one
that
of the worst things in the game. Trying to use that. Luckily, later on when you get your, I don't know if you will have got it yet, like a dash or like a double dash.
No.
Oh, cool. So I think that's coming up very shortly for you. You can dash into it and that'll grab it. So okay. I basically never pressed R3 anymore. I would just dash into it unless I had to, because I'd run out of dashes. But that, like, there's something about how close your hands are to the wall when you're walking up, and the like chunky noise it makes. Something about it really aggravated me, and that design really annoyed me.
You know what it was? It's because the wall has like those holes on it, and it's like your trypophobia.
Yes, like, that would be it. Subconsciously, that tripping. The other thing on that kind of vein is the game asks you to do some jumps and some dashes, which for the most part is fine. But sometimes I think they just get the balance off. Like most of the jumps, there's plenty of like leeway in terms of when you do your double jump or when you do your second dash. But some of them have to be like so perfect and almost it felt kind of almost lucky sometimes. So so there's a couple of balance bits, kind of issues with some of the platforming, especially towards the end. The second last chapter, there's like a whole section where you're flying from one platform to another through these like jump holes, and I wanted to throw my controller across the room at one point with it.
It's quite a quick respawn though, isn't it?
Yes,
like, so when you
absolutely.
do drop.
Oh yeah. That's something which I meant to mention actually with the performance is I'm so impressed by the load times on this game.
Oh really? Actually, because one thing that I thought was when the first level loaded up, it did actually take quite a long time.
Maybe it's just that first one then.
Yeah, I think maybe at the beginning of each level, like loading a level takes a while, but once it's loaded, it's really good.
Yeah. And I think just from the complexity of it, like being burnt from some other games like Metro Exodus, admittedly, like each of those levels are massive in that game. Honestly, takes like 5 minutes to load, and that's not even like a joke of how long it takes to load. So I think going from that and then seeing how complex these levels and massive some of these levels are, my expectations were low. But no, very good with that. The only other thing I wanted to mention was there's quite a few like other additions added. So like you'll have a flame cannon, you have a grenade launcher, you have the meat hook on the super shotgun. So there's quite a few extra things they've added. Some of them are maybe a little bit hit and miss, kind of in what I felt like they were a bit hit and miss in how much I wanted to use them or felt like I needed to use them. Like the flame cannon, when you use it, if someone's on fire, you then start getting armor from them. But it's on triangle, and it's just a bit of an awkward thing I felt to use most of the time. So I never really ended up using it much. The meat hook on the super shotgun, one of the best things I've ever seen in a video game ever.
Oh, really?
That gun has transformed from an amazing shotgun to one of my favorite games in a video game, hands down ever. It's so good.
I found myself constantly using the grenade launcher on the normal shotgun throughout the whole of that first level.
Yes.
Constantly.
So again, with each of the weapons, you have 2 upgrades you can pick. You get all of the upgrades, I think, like 2/3 the way through the game. So it's not like they wait till the end to give you all or anything like that. But the grenade, I think I maybe used the like automatic shotgun version of it once, whereas they used the grenade loads. So some of those upgrades I felt were quite hit and miss as well. So some of them you have 2 options, and I was like, oh, I want to use both of these all the time. But the most of them, one in my mind, felt significantly more useful. Just wait till you. I don't know. Have you got the plasma gun yet? The plasma rifle.
Yeah. I definitely
Quite
picked up
square.
like a
Purple, shooting up purple. I think you get the machine gun quite early with you.
I think I may have just got the machine gun. Yeah.
Cool. So that has like either a scope shot or
it's got rockets. The rockets are cool. Yeah.
The rockets are pretty cool. The scope shot's very useful as well, but you've got to be just so on point with it. Soon I think you'll get the plasma rifle, and that was a gun from Doom 2016, which I almost never used. I just thought it was. Yeah, I just didn't feel there was much use for it. This suddenly is one of the best guns in the game. Like it feels so powerful. So yeah, overriding thoughts. Excellent game. It was the kind of thing where I loved going and finding every secret because I found the world so interesting and so like just to look at and stuff. So I always got all the map upgrades to make sure I could see where every secret was in the map, and then I had to try and work out how to get there. And also because there's a surprising amount of upgrading you can do to your character, the weapons and things like that. So I kind of wanted to get that all done as quick as possible. It's definitely the game where once I felt I finished it, I felt I didn't really need to go back or do anything again. I think it's done. Maybe one day I'll just pick it up for a bit of fun again, but it feels like my time is done once I'd finished the game. But I will just give a small shout out to I think there's a level, I think it's maybe like level 3 or 4 where you get the super shotgun. I think it's called Super Gore Nest, and it's the best level in a Doom game I've played so far.
Nice.
I loved it. So yeah, that's overall thoughts on Doom Eternal. Very positive. Very
cool.
Positive. With that,
Yoo-hoo!
Hello.
Yoo-hoo, Andy!
Oh, hi. I can't remember my wife's name.
Oh, that's not important. Don't worry, Andy. Don't worry.
Okay. Thank you, Mildred.
I'm just calling in. Don't worry. I know. Obviously, we're supposed to be isolating together, but I'm at the country club, and this is where we were when the government told us that we couldn't. So I'm here with all of the girls, and Daryl's here as well. The tennis
Who's
coach.
Daryl?
The tennis coach. You know Daryl.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on.
Yeah. No, I do remember him. Yeah. Nice guy.
I can't wait for this the coronavirus lockdown to be over so I can get back to you, Andy. Can't wait.
Yeah, amazingly, I hadn't even realised that you weren't here for the last 3 weeks. But no, good to see. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well.
Well, I'm assuming that's because you've been collecting trophies for me, isn't it?
Oh, of course. All day, every day. That's all I've been doing.
Now, the girls are asking me to come back because we're having cocktails. It's such a riot. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave you with your friend Chris, and all I want you to do is to pick me out the rarest trophy. I just want a rare trophy. Okay?
No problem at all. No problem at all. Anything for you, my sweet wife.
I'll be back in a minute, darling. The
Bye.
pina
Bye.
coladas.
Bye.
Stop it, Daryl.
What, Daryl?
Okay. Well.
Wait, Chris, are you there? Can you see Daryl?
No. She was calling in.
Oh, it's a three-way call.
I had to add her into the house part. Zoom?
Right.
Zoom, is it? I don't know.
Zoom party.
Zoom?
Our Zoom party.
The Hangout, the Google Hangout. That's it.
Google Zoom party.
And Skype. So,
no one knows what Skype.
You might remember a bit of Trophy Wife that we did a few episodes ago. So what's gonna happen is, same as last time. I've got 10 trophies from video games. You're going to guess the first one. You're going to guess like the rarity and what kind of trophy it is. And from that point onwards, for each one, you're going to guess if it is rarer or less rare.
Yeah.
And at the end, you're going to pick out which trophy you think was the rarest one in terms of percentage to give to your wife.
Perfect.
And then we'll see how, see if you please her or not. So when I was picking these out, I thought, you know what? I just want to look at trophies that are for completing games.
Platinums?
Not platinums, just a trophy for finishing a game.
Yeah, so finish the campaign on any difficulty, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like that kind of trophy. Because I feel like that's a trophy that every game should have, right?
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's not.
It was much harder putting this list together than I thought it would be. Because some games just no, they're not going to give you a trophy for finishing the game.
Oh, God. Okay.
So I managed to find 10 games that do.
By the way, I hate whenever we do one of these type of games where there is the potential for you to mention one of my favorite games of all time and me just have no idea that you're doing it, and then I feel terrible because I don't know enough about my favorite game of all time, something like that. So
I'd say
no Witcher trophies.
I'd say you're pretty much safe, apart from maybe one of them this time. So. Okay. So the first game. So remember, you're just saying what kind of trophy, what rarity it is.
Yep.
Is completing the game in Hollow Knight.
And this is all I'm saying is like an ultra rare, very rare, common. Is that what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm gonna go with I know it's a really hard game. So
it's quite difficult.
I'm gonna go with ultra rare.
Okay, so Hollow Knight is a rare.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what kind of trophy? This is the other thing I want you to guess each time. What kind of trophy is it?
Yeah. Now we've always had this thing that we think completing a game should be a gold trophy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with bronze.
This one is actually gold. This is a gold trophy.
Good. Okay. Both. I'm glad to get both of those wrong.
So I'm not going to tell you the percentage because obviously that would give away the ultimate.
Yes.
Which one is that? So the next game, and this time obviously all you're doing is saying rare or less rare. So the next game is Detroit Become Human, finishing the game. You get a trophy for that.
Yeah. That has to be less rare.
Less rare?
Yeah.
You're correct.
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of trophy it is? How?
Yeah, I have a feeling it's a gold.
It is a gold.
Yeah.
It is a gold trophy. It's a rare one.
Yeah.
The next game on the list then is Celeste. Completing all the main levels of Celeste.
Now this is tricky because you can cheat this quite easily.
You can.
You can put on the codes kind of and just run through the levels. Therefore, I'm gonna say, but would people who play Celeste really do that? I'm gonna say completing the game is more rare than Detroit.
That's correct.
Yes.
It is more rare. It is more rare. It is, I'll tell you though, it is 0.6%
close.
more rare.
Close one.
Do you know what trophy?
And I think a gold as well.
Yeah, gold rare.
Yeah, good.
Gold rare.
Good. These are good games with their trophies so far.
Most of them are. But,
yeah. Okay.
Okay. The next game is The Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds. This is the Obsidian game, yeah?
Yep, the Obsidian one. So finishing it, let's get into the credits.
Finishing it. Outer Worlds. I think that's... I'm going to go with that is more rare. No, yes, more rare.
More rare than Celeste.
Yeah.
That's correct. Well done. Nice work.
Nice.
Kind of trophy?
I'll go gold again.
Yep, it is gold. It's rare.
Good.
Okay, the next game is Tetris Effect. Now, I've done this as in completing the journey mode. Okay.
Yeah. Interesting. Because even on easy, that last level can get pretty tricky.
Yeah.
Metamorphosis. I'm gonna go with more common because I think people who are playing Tetris Effect are more likely to see it through than people picking up Outer Worlds because it's a bit more niche.
It is more common.
Yes.
Again, 0.6% more common.
Whoa,
tight
close.
Okay, the next game is Wolfenstein: The New Order. So the first one back of the new style.
Yeah.
So if you're completing it. The Tetris trophy as well, by the way, is a rare gold as well.
Yes, it's a gold. Yeah. Again, I'm also going to go more common.
Completing Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Correct again.
Yes.
Nice job. What kind of trophy is it?
For completing Wolfenstein, a silver.
It's a gold?
Oh, it's a gold
trophy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good Wolfenstein.
Okay. Next one. 2018's God of War.
More rare or less rare than completing... what was the last game?
Wolfenstein: The New Order.
Wolfenstein. I think it is, again, less rare.
Less rare.
That's
correct. Yeah, correct.
Yes. The game, I can see a gold popping up.
It is a gold. Do you remember what the? Do you remember what the write up is of the trophy?
No, I can't. I don't remember.
It's called Spread the Ashes.
Okay.
Or at least that's the write up. Sorry, I don't. That's probably not the name of it.
Yeah.
So that's a gold trophy. It's a common.
A common.
Yeah.
People are committed to that game.
Next up is Firewatch. The trophy for finishing Firewatch.
This feels like a red herring. I feel like I should say this is more common because it's only 5 or 6 hours long and you're just walking around interacting with stuff. So it feels like people should see it through more. But it's also much more... No, maybe not much more niche. I'm going to say it is more rare.
Rarer than God of War?
Yeah.
That's wrong.
which is out. Ah, I was about to say it would be outrageous. I was going with the red herring.
Yeah, no, it's wrong. It's a more common trophy. It is a gold.
Yeah. Okay.
It's also common.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Next game. This is game number 9, by the way.
Yeah.
Number 9 is Marvel's Spider-Man.
Ooh, that's tricky. So, okay. So on the reverse logic of what I just did, I'm gonna go. It's more rare than the Firewatch one.
It is more rare than the Firewatch one.
Yeah,
you're right.
I think a lot of this is 6 hours versus 20 hours.
Yeah,
is the kind of argument there, basically.
What kind of trophy is it?
For finishing, surely it's a gold.
It's a
silver.
Bronze.
Bronze.
Common
Get
bronze
out of here.
trophy. Damn you, Spider-Man.
And with a fairly easy trophy list as well.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the concession you get. An easy trophy list gives you a bronze for finishing.
Number 10
Shocking.
is The Walking Dead Season 1.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if you
This
remember
is tricky because...
Do you remember how the trophies work? So all 5 episodes are the trophy list, just so completing all 5.
Yeah.
No collectibles.
Yeah. But this, when you say Season 1...
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure I've taken this from the PS3 version.
Oh, fine. Okay. I'm gonna say surely that must be a more common one.
More common than Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's rarer.
What?
Yeah. What kind of trophy is it?
A platinum.
It is a platinum. Yeah. Good
yeah.
One. It's a rare platinum. Yeah. So out of that, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Pretty good.
No, I should have got 8 because of my red herring, I guess.
Yeah.
But
the real game here, Andy.
Yeah.
Is which of those trophies for completing the game is the rarest in terms of the percentage? So out of the people that started it, or at least people who got a trophy, how many went on to complete the game? So the games were Hollow Knight, Detroit Become Human, Celeste, The Outer Worlds, Tetris Effect, Wolfenstein The New Order, God of War, Firewatch, Spider-Man, and Walking Dead Season 1. Which game was the rarest for people to complete?
Just go through. So it was Celeste, then...
So it was Hollow Knight?
Hollow Knight.
Detroit Become Human.
Which was more rare, I think.
Celeste.
No, less rare. More rare.
Outer Worlds.
More rare.
Tetris Effect.
More rare.
It's more common.
Less rare. More common.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
God of War. Firewatch. Spider-Man. Walking Dead.
Okay. I'm going to go with Hollow Knight.
Okay. Right. Keep that. Oh, you're gonna present it, yeah?
Yeah. Last time I think I got it wrong, didn't I?
Okay. I'll bring we'll see if your wife's still on the phone. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Andy.
Hiya.
What have you got?
How was the pina colada?
Oh, it was incredible. I ended up having sex on the beach as well, but I also had a couple of cocktails.
Who did you have sex with?
What trophy have you got for me, you lovely man?
I have the rarest of game completion trophies for you, my dear.
Oh, wow. Which one is it?
This one is so hard that not many people got it.
Oh, how hard is it?
It's so hard. It is, yeah. It's made of pure gold, this trophy.
Ooh.
And it is for the game Hollow Knight.
Andy, that is the rarest trophy.
Yes.
Wow,
My
amazing.
marriage is saved.
I'll take this that you passed me over the phone through our Zoom house party chat, and I'll show the rest of the ladies. Okay.
Oh, they'll be so impressed.
I'll see you soon, Andy. Goodbye.
See ya. Bye.
Hey, Daryl, look what the chump gave me. Yeah. Well done, Andy. Well done. You got it right.
Thank you.
Do you want to hear
it
the
was
numbers?
devious putting the first one as the most.
Yeah, it was devious. It was.
Yeah. Give me the numbers.
21.1% for Hollow Knight.
That was the lowest.
Yeah, 21.1 was the
Wow.
lowest. Detroit, 48.2. So almost half the people
Wow.
complete it. Celeste, 47.6.
Yeah.
Um, Outer Worlds was 32.9. So about a third. About a third of people that play Tetris Effect complete journey mode.
Ah. Okay. Fair enough. Good.
Wolfenstein was 36.8.
Yeah.
This is probably the biggest surprise to me. God of War, 51.6.
51.
Over half the people that played that completed it, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Firewatch was 66.7.
Fair enough.
Which,
yeah. Fairly, straightforward.
Spider-Man was 51.5. So almost exactly the same as God of War.
Wow, that's interesting.
That's not the most interesting one though. This is the most interesting. So listen to this. The Walking Dead season 1.
Yeah.
23.7% of people have got the platinum for that on PS3. Okay. So that's low.
23.
That's really low. That's less than a quarter of people that play it. But the weirdest thing about it is, I went down and I looked at so for episode 5, the last trophy that you get in episode 5 has got 24.9%. So I was trying to work out what that means. And I think what that means is that some people just played. Surely that means some people just played part of episode 5 and didn't play something else.
Potentially, there may be some loophole here of
maybe like a trophy not popping properly, or
yeah.
because PS3 was a bit dodgy.
I feel like there were some conversations about that. That sucks if that's you.
So weird though, because surely you don't get that last trophy. Surely you don't get the platinum unless you've got the last trophy of. So I was a bit confused by that. I've got to be honest.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, I love looking at trophies. It's good. I enjoy doing that.
Yeah, for sure. Excellent.
So well done. You
Thank
succeeded
you.
this time.
My pride has been restored.
Okay, so it's time for This Week in Dreams. So our little bit where we highlight something that was really good that we've played in the video game Dreams. So this one is a game called The Pilgrim. Now, probably a lot of people have played this because I'm pretty sure I found it on like a highlighted thing.
Like a showcase type thing in the game.
Yeah, and we've both played through this one, haven't we, I think?
Yes. Yep, I played through it as well, yeah.
It's so cool. So it's by a guy called Narvik Guten. Guten.
Nice.
I'll put a link to his indreams.me site. And it actually put it on here, 24th of March, he updated some endings. So it's definitely since I've played it, he's added a little bit in. But
these living games.
Really cool. It's one of those sort of things where it starts out and you're thinking, what on earth? I find this quite a lot when I look at some Dreams things where I'm like, what on earth is this? And then you just stick with it for a bit and you're like, oh, damn, this is actually super cool and really solid. And it kind of changes a lot of time between being like a 3D platformer to going into like a top-down, almost like shooter at points.
It's some good perspective shifts. It gave me kind of Nier vibes with changing around like that, which is fun.
Really, really cool game.
Nice little simple story to go along with it. And so nice music as well, actually.
That's it. The
really
music.
Nice music.
Music was excellent.
Really.
I'm not sure how the music was done, or if it was something they got from
they plugged in something sideways. I know that Dreams has an outrageous music creator, so it was probably done in there, but not sure fully.
It's crazy if you go onto, you can look at the credits on someone's indreams.me thing, and the credits for this is huge. The amount of like sort of
Other people that have.
Yeah, well, or like people that have he's like taken assets from something that someone else has made.
That's what it is, because I think it's two guys. I think it's him and it says like co-created with someone else.
Yeah,
completely co-created with someone else. And then that I suppose that would be the shared asset pool that people
it's crazy.
can draw from.
I'm like on page 5 of. I think there's 5 pages of like stuff where you've taken stuff from other people's creations. Really, really cool.
It's such an exciting aspect of Dreams. Well, I imagine it must be very exciting for creators. Just have this huge pool of resources available that you can just draw on.
Yeah.
If you don't fancy creating something yourself.
Yeah, I kind of want to go and look at what these different
new endings are.
Yeah, I've got to be honest.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. So check it out. So I've put a link to it. It's called The Pilgrim. So if you've got Dreams, definitely check that out. If you haven't got Dreams yet, then I don't know, maybe think about it.
Yeah. Watch a couple of videos. It's cool. Very cool game.
Cool game.
Right, on to our main topic.
Big
We
news.
got some news in the last week or two,
Next
didn't we?
gen news.
Next gen news, and Sony finally decided to let us in on what the new PlayStation 5 controller would look like, and it is not called the DualShock 5. It is called the DualSense.
Whoa, DualSense.
Whoa, sense. And it looks wild.
It's crazy.
It's pretty out there. I'm gonna get up a picture of it.
I'm looking at it now.
Yeah.
So obviously the key thing that you're going to look at when you see this thing, I'm sure you guys have seen this already, is that it's 2 colors. There's 2 colors on this thing.
Yeah, this two-tone dual color thing. The initial colors they've shown, so it's this white controller with a kind of black middle section, and that goes down into the handles.
So like if you're looking at a DualShock 4, the section that includes the analog sticks and the PlayStation Home button, that's black.
Speaker, that's black.
But the majority of the handles, the
touch bar,
the symbols button, the touchpad, the D-pad, that's all white.
Yeah.
And I think the triggers are black, aren't they? So R1, R2,
they are.
R1, R2 are black. But the rest of it is all white.
Yeah. Including the bottom. The bottom's all white as well.
Oh, okay.
Well, the rest of it's kind of white as well. The buttons are kind of clear, so they've got like kind of almost like a crystal kind of layer to the top of them, which I thought was looked quite nice when you see it side on. So I've got a couple of notes here. I'll just quickly run through some of like the features, as it were, and then we can talk more about it as a whole, kind of type of thing. So some of the things about this, a lot of this is actually repeated from the first initial reveal from Wired, when they first got to talk about the console. A lot of these are repeated things, but so we're going to have haptic feedback. So that terminology you might have heard thrown around quite a lot with like the Switch Joy-Cons have a type of haptic feedback. The iPhone and probably I think quite a lot of Android phones as well, and the Apple Watch and things like that, they all have haptic feedback, which is a much more kind of minute feeling than like the Rumble packs, for example. So that should hopefully give a better sense of when you're holding the controller, instead of just 2 big circular things in the bottom of the handle spinning, the whole controller itself feels alive all over. It's going to have adaptive triggers, which is essentially your L2 and your R2 can the torsion of them can change. So it could be the example they always use is, right, you're pulling back the bow of an arrow, and initially it's quite loose, and then as you get further and further down, it becomes harder and harder to push down, like a bow would get harder and harder. There is a built-in microphone. And it looks as though the button just below the PlayStation logo is a button to turn off the microphone, so it has its own hardware button. The headphone jack is still there, even though there was kind of 3 or 4 pictures they put out. You couldn't actually see where the headphone jack normally goes.
It's in I think it's in the middle at the bottom. I think you can kind of see it.
Yeah. So that's confirmed, definitely still there. The share button is now called the Create button, and they've said they've got a lot more to share
Uh-huh.
to create about what that's going to do in the repurpose of that button. Trackpad's still there. Light bar is still there, but only on the sides of the trackpad. So there's no light bar along no massive light on the back of the controller. So you'll just get these kind of glowing edges along the side of the trackpad. Excuse me. So those are the main kind of features that have been mentioned. What this translates into a controller, I think the first thing is to immediately get a picture of this up and imagine a caricature of a squat Mexican wrestler in his leotard. And that is what it looks like.
Yeah.
I have not been able to get that image out of my head for so long. However, just on the topic of the colours and stuff, it's pretty bold. I kind of like the fact it's so out there especially compared to the Series X controller. Like, this thing looks wild compared to that now. There's a lot of influence that has been taken from it as well. So with a slightly bulkier design, it's slightly rounding out a bit.
It looks comfy. It looks comfy. It looks a lot bigger in your hand. Yeah,
definitely. The face button, so the triangle, square, circle, X, or cross, as they say, they look like they're a little bit more spaced out as well than the previous one, which is nice. The thing on the colours, so yeah, it's kind of bold. This predominantly white with then black. However, the internet went crazy straight away, obviously, with mock-ups, and the potential for colour combos with this is insane. Like, I've seen some mock-ups which I've thought looked unbelievable, and then the same controller but just different colours look terrible. So yeah, it should be a good blueprint for some cool designs down the line for sure.
Yeah, it'd be cool if there was a couple at release, I guess, as well, because I like the white, but I don't know, it's something about it. I think my problem, I've said this as well, is that I just think the actual D-pad and the symbols buttons need to be a different color other than white. I think they just need to stand out or pop off a bit more from the white behind them. I like the white and the contrast with the black.
Yeah.
I just think the actual buttons on it need to be a different color, maybe.
No, I think that's absolutely fair enough. With that, I have with the way they announce this and the emphasis they put on this striking two-tone color type of thing, I really get the impression that this is the controller and this is all it will be initially. There won't be other colors available. It will just be this one. Now, when they launched the PS4, you had the option of a black, blue, and red. I believe I think there were 3 options, and then they brought white out down the line, and then all the other colors. But yeah, from just the way they were sounding, it sounds like this might be the only color initially, which is fine. But I think it also we might have said this a bit before, but in my opinion, this kind of gives us a bit of an indication of what the console might look like as well.
Yeah. It's gonna have some white. It's definitely
gonna have some white. And there's all these rumors of this kind of big V on the front. Whether that's less indented than we thought, but maybe we could be seeing this white, black, and blue kind of combination. Because the blue on the control, that's very similar to the light bar on the actual PS4 controller.
Yeah,
so it's a similar kind of shade. So maybe we'll see some accents of that. But I wouldn't be surprised if a white console with maybe like black vents type of thing. That'd be my kind of guess.
You'd definitely go black vents, wouldn't you? You'd go because obviously like collecting dust and stuff would look dreadful on the white. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, in terms of controller, I'm very excited to actually get to grips with it. The shoulder buttons, the triggers sound really, really interesting. And it looks like there's a slightly different texture on the thumbsticks as well, which would be nice.
I'm just looking as well, like it looks like how on the touchpad there was kind of like an indentation and like the triangle, square, circle, cross button symbols on it. It looks like that's gone. It looks like it is just a sheer
just clear
slate
piece
of
across. Plastic. Yeah. Interesting. I'm interested with the idea that the light bar on the back has gone. Now they've said PSVR is still going to work with PS5. Does that mean you have to use a DualShock 4 when doing that? Maybe because I feel like the PSVR uses the front light bar quite a lot,
unless a new camera is better that they
potentially.
ship with it, potentially.
Maybe, yeah. So we'll have to wait and see with that. But yeah, overall thoughts. What how are you feeling? Positive?
Yeah, I do. I like the design. I like the design of it. I think it's just the color. Because it's one of those things where if you sort of saw it and you squinted, all you would see is like white and black. You wouldn't see the buttons. You wouldn't see that. And so I'm kind of like, and it's weird.
Not so just distinctive almost.
Yeah, and it's also weird because the actual colors of the button, you know how obviously like triangle would be like green. Like and like square would be pink, right?
Yep.
Circle red, cross blue. That's gone. That's just not on there.
Yeah,
they're all just grey.
That's very surprising.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, a bit of a shame. Because I've got in front of me when I've just googled DualSense, there's a mock-up of a black one with a PS1 color logo in the middle, and then with the normal colors on the right, and it looks incredible.
Yeah.
So hopefully the color thing will be rectified kind of down the line with any sort of issues. No actual shot of the back of it or the underside of it. Yeah. So whether there's any of the like back triggers, who knows? Doubtful.
I don't think
considering it seems like that would have been the perfect time to mention that.
They totally would have mentioned it if there were back triggers.
Yeah. So a bit weird that they didn't show a picture of the bottom, but I suppose maybe it's just because the bottom is just the bottom and that's it. So fair enough with that. I'm very excited to, as I say, kind of get to grips with it in terms of how games are gonna use this and these new features and this kind of tactile feedback and kind of haptic feedback, and tactile triggers and stuff. It seems like with the PlayStation 5, Sony are kind of going for these slightly more weird and out there ideas in the design of the console and the controller. Hopefully developers will use it as well. I've seen a lot of developers on Twitter being like, "Oh, I'm so excited to get these things into people's hands and stuff." So hopefully that will be the case moving forward. At least you will definitely get some launch games that do take full advantage of it.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much the DualSense. We've got some Sony, as I mentioned earlier, they doubled down on saying that holiday 2020 is still the release date, and in the coming months they will be showing the console design. And I think in Mark Cerny's presentation a couple of weeks back, he said, "Oh, we're not showing the design. We'll wait for that with the teardown video." So it looks like they might have some sort of kind of like technical video which shows the console and maybe them taking it apart and showing all the components and stuff like that. So hopefully that's coming up soon. Be nice to see that. It'll be nice to see that, and as we've said many a time, have a bit of a showcase of some games running on it as well. But we are yet to have that, but hopefully soon. That. Was there anything else you wanted to mention on the controller, kind of, or?
No, not really. I don't think. I just again, it's like you said. I just want to see the games now. I just want to see some more stuff, see what it can do. I think.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think we are surely getting close, considering the normal November release date is normally time. So we will see. But fingers crossed. Right. That does it for main chat and news, I think. I don't think we've got anything else, do we?
No, there's nothing really else massive that's happened.
No. So that leaves us then with one thing to sort out, which is bets.
Yes.
No, actually, it gives it one other thing.
I mean, it's kind of like
Yeah,
bets.
I suppose it's all in with betting.
Kind of bets.
We're doing a side bet. Hustle.
A side hustle. So because obviously there's 4 major games still to come out this generation, and And what we're going to do is we're just going to both put our predictions as to what we're going Metacritic, were we?
Yeah, we'll go Metacritic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though they suck.
Yeah, well, they do. Absolutely. So
what we're going to do, we're just going to guess what will these games end up on. So I'm guessing we go like when review embargoes lift, and then maybe like a week later or something.
Yeah, I think a week later is fair enough. As long as the review embargo is like 3 or 4 days in advance.
Yeah.
We'll probably wait till a couple of days after launch type of thing, because some people don't get it until then.
Yeah. All right. So I want to pick the order for these. Have you done it?
Okay. Yeah, I've done
Okay,
mine.
cool. Right. So the first game is, I think the nearest one coming out is Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
What do you think that's going to end up on? This is because it's one of those weird ones where it's like, oh, I don't know.
I actually have no idea, but I've put down here. I think this is quite like a safe bet almost.
Oh yeah.
86.
Okay, cool. I've gone with 84.
Okay, cool.
So I think we've gone fairly similar there. Obviously, if it's 85,
Yeah.
we'll
duke it out.
Yeah, duke it out.
Yeah.
The next game I want to look at is.
So Cyberpunk's the next one with a release date.
Yeah, I was going to go Cyberpunk. So what score do you think Cyberpunk's going to end up on?
This is really tricky.
Yeah.
This is really, really tricky because CD Projekt went on such an upward trend with their games recently, and this game looks so confident in everything I've seen in it. And I think that really tells you to the quality of the game, but who knows at the same time. So I've gone with 90.
Okay.
Just on the dot 90.
I said 88.
Okay.
I've got a feeling I've got a feeling some people are gonna have some like problems with some stuff in the game probably, and there'll be a bit of bias against it for that.
Yeah.
Again, obviously that's 2 away, so 89 we'll just whatever.
We'll duke it out, as we say. Duke it out.
I want to do Avengers next.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think I'm just pulling in my own negative thoughts on the game. 71.
Whoa, 71. Okay.
Yeah.
I said 80. Because I thought
I'm swinging low.
Yeah, people are gonna like it's Avengers, no,
My influence from that was Anthem.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's big studio, big hype, like 55, I think, or something.
Yeah, I just think that like the fact that it's subject matter that people care about already.
But are they going to ruin that subject matter?
Yeah, maybe.
They've already ruined part of it with the designs.
Yeah, they do look dreadful. Okay.
So what, you went 80?
I went 80, so I've gone...
Okay, so 80, 71.
I've gone over on that one. You went over on me with the other two. Okay, The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
What did you say for that?
So I think I think the game will probably deserve to be on like 80 or like 78 or so.
What?
What? I've gone 96.
96?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Because I honestly think this is just one of these games that comes along, doesn't come along often, but like over 95 is like an insanely, and this is weird to say, like, oh, it's a hard thing to do. It's not like it's a game, but like these games will get 100 or plus reviews by the end of it. So having that averaged out for 96 is utterly outrageous. Not many games have done that before. I think Uncharted 2, I think, is 96. Last of Us 1, I think, is like 95 or 96.
It's 95. I've just looked at
95.
But both the remastered and the PS3 version.
Yeah. So, I'm seeing them get to their highs of Uncharted 2.
Damn.
Get back into because these things happen every now and then. I think you've got like Red Dead, GTAs. They kind of get up to their Zelda, Mario. They get up there, but you don't see them often. And with the fact that this is going to be the last hooray of the PS4, I can see it being the end of the Last of Us story. It just feels like it's everything's lined up for this gritty, horrible, well celebrated finale.
Cool. I've got 91. Because I think the reason I did that is because I think it's going to get over 90, or at least 90. But I think, like we've talked about before, I think, it's so hyped now. It's been delayed a couple of times. Everyone's like so excited to play it, and I think, I think some people are gonna look at the changes made to it and say, "Oh, I don't like this. I preferred it like this, or I prefer this."
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So I've got 91. Cool. So you've gone over me for most of them, apart from the Avengers. Cool. I hope you're right.
Excellent stuff.
I kind of hope you're right about the Avengers as well, but that's just like a morbid thing. That's the DC fanboy coming out of me. But
yeah, for sure. Good stuff. So back to our proper bet, our Hogwarts bet.
Pressure.
So last episode we were talking about Doom Eternal, and we went on to OpenCritic, went to the first review there, and searched for the word hell, I believe. And looked at how many times that was going to pop up. I believe I said 6 and you said 7.
Yes, that is right.
Yeah. So I was unholy, you were holy, and we looked.
Which was it? Come on.
It was 4 times. It was from Eurogamer, and it was 4. And
what are they doing?
I have a feeling none of those 4 were just the word hell.
Really?
It was like Hell Spawn was twice, Hell Infested or something, or something else. Hell Bent, I think.
I mean,
so yeah.
Is that even a real review? Is that even a real review then?
Is that even a real review? Goodness sake.
Yeah.
So once again, Gryffindor wins.
So that actually makes the score 30-10.
Oof.
So a 20-point lead.
Yeah.
For the boys in red and gold.
Nice.
Frustrated. I need to bring this back now. So we're gonna the next bet we're gonna do is I'm picking this. I'm doing this. This is home turf for me. Okay. Final Fantasy VII remake.
Okay.
Platinum trophy.
Yeah.
What percentage? Next time we record in a week, a couple of weeks, say what percentage of people will have got the platinum trophy for Final Fantasy VII remake?
Okay.
What do you think? Do you want to go? I haven't actually got an answer for myself yet. So.
Yeah, I've written something down. I'm just debating whether I'm going to change it. I don't think I will. I'm going to stick with my guns.
Go on.
So I've gone with 0.8.
0.8%. Any reason why?
I think when I looked a day or two ago, it was 0.1.
You're cheating. You're cheating then.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? I think when I looked a day or two ago, it was like 0.1.
Okay.
And I think there's some really time-consuming platinum trophies in there.
From what I've looked at it, it's like there's a couple of trophies for doing certain mini games on like the hard, like doing certain things hard.
Yeah.
And you obviously have to play through the game twice.
Yeah. There's a do all the side quests, which I think is the one which is like 0.2% complete.
Okay.
So maybe that's only over the first weekend it's been out, so it's maybe not the right way to look at it. But
I'm gonna go over you then. I'm gonna have faith in the people.
Yeah, faith in the masses.
Platting the game. So I'm gonna go 1.1%.
1.1.
1.1.
Okay. So yeah. So then if it's 0.9, it's me. If it's 1, it's you.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Come on. I'm gonna do. No, I'm not. I am gonna try and get this platinum trophy at somewhere, but not by. I'm not gonna try and do it before the next time we record. Just a bump for that number.
That would be real dedication to your house.
Yeah, to Hufflepuff. Come on, Hufflepuff.
Good stuff. So those are locked in. We will review that next time we record. And that, as they say, is that, I believe, for this episode of Bomb Squad. So as always, you can find us on things like Twitter. You can go on the website indreamsclub.com. indreamsclub.com. Yeah, that's what it is. That's our name. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Excellent.
So thank you very much, as always, for listening. And we'll see you soon. Bye. Hello and welcome to Bomb Squad.
Hello.